this video, we're going to talk about the meaning of the transited houses. So we're talking about when planets transit through a house, what you can expect. We're actually talking about the houses and not specifically the planets. This is for forecasting astrologers. Hi, if we have not met before, my name is Alison. I'm an astrologer in Vancouver. This video is part of my transits series or playlist, and there are other videos and you can check them out here. So in this time, we're going to be talking about what will be stimulated in your life, what area of life will be stimulated as planets go through your different houses. So it is very similar to the meanings of the houses in natal charts, but through transits, the planets will stimulate your particular houses in particular fashions. And that's what we're going to talk about right now. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing, give me a like, and share it with anybody who would be interested. Okay, so let's get started. Planets transiting natal houses for forecasting astrologers. So with transits through the houses, what to look for? The first thing is going to be planets entering a new house. That is important. That date is important. You need to get that date. You want to pay attention to how long the planet will be in a house, because the longer it is there, the more influence it will have. And the third main thing is that you want to look out for any conjunctions that a transiting planet will make to natal planets already in that house. So with first house transits, you can expect to see stimulation or changes or an expression in certain areas. First up is the personality of the person. So you do tend to change when planets go through your first house. It's to do with your self-confidence. You may get boosted with your self-confidence or not so much. And then your image and looks and how you look, your wardrobe, your style, your hair color, and so on may be changed or influenced by any planet that transits through your first house. When planets transit through your second house, they will impact your self-worth, your acquisitions, that is the stuff you have, your collections, the things you buy, purchases you make, investments you make, and your finances and net worth will either be improved or not as different planets transit through your second house. It does depend on the nature of the planet. Third house transits. This has to do with making changes through your commute and walking, your local neighborhood. It also has to do with taking short courses or weekend classes, depending on the planet. So in the nature of the planet, you would be inclined to take a little short course or do some extra lessons or something like that. And then your local environment, such as parks and trails, and honestly out walking the dog, jogging, rollerblading through your area, that will be influenced as planets pass through your third house. So your fourth house transits. When planets transit your fourth house, they will influence your home life, your home situation, the people who live in your house, your family dynamics. Maybe people move in, maybe people move out. Who knows what, maybe their daughter's boyfriend comes to stay or something like that. And generally, this has a lot of effect on the foundations of your life. Very often we feel that our home and family is our sanctuary, which it is. And when changes occur there, you feel that it may have rocked the foundations of your life or solidified the foundations of your life. Fifth house transit. So when planets transit through your fifth house, this will stimulate dating and romance. And even if you're married, you may be tempted with a flirtation or some little liaison or something like that. And all projects that you give birth to, little projects you've had going, maybe you're writing a book, maybe you're doing some artwork, or I don't know, maybe you're making wooden birdhouses, and these are projects that you are giving birth to. Your creations will be given birth during this time. And your relationship with children, specifically with your children, but if you don't have children, it's your relationship with children, kids, and youth in general will be changed or influenced in the nature of the planet that transits your fifth house. When planets transit your sixth house, that you are likely to see changes in your daily rituals. Maybe you start doing meditation, yoga, or take a gym class or something, and you add ritual into your life. This often then comes down to better health, exercise, and or diet in the nature of the planet. So if it's a pretty good planet, this should improve. And if it's a bit of a hooligan planet, you may find you coming off the rails with your health, exercise, and diet. And planets going through your sixth house will influence your working life and your job. Are you finding employment? Are you happy in your job? Is there a shift in the environment where you're working or something like that? So these are just a few ways that planets that transit through your 6th house can manifest. So 7th house transits will affect all business partnerships, people you go into business with, people you go into cahoots with, people you collaborate with or get together for whatever reason. And the 7th house is traditionally you and the general public, the regular folk you meet out there, the bus driver, whoever, the bellhop, people like that, and your relationship with them. And it is very frequently reflected in your serious lifetime partnerships. That is your marriage, the person you are committed to, and depending on the planet, that will either reinforce that partnership or even begin one, or it could even dissolve a partnership. It does depend on the planet that is transiting. So when you have planets transiting through your 8th house, this will affect your intimate life, what you do behind closed doors. There will be a shift in your partner's financial situation. So if you are used to getting money from someone, there may be an improvement or not within that. And also insurance taxes and inheritances may or may not come through during this time. These are all monies that you only receive because someone else paid in the first place, and you are then receiving it. So there are other things in the 8th house, but these are the main ones that you would want to consider. 9th house transits. This has to do with all adult educational courses. This is you going to university, it's you going to college, or taking an advanced class in XYZ or something like that. Or, I don't know, watercolor painting, which is something that's been on my mind for a while. But anyway, it also has to do with travel and exploration plans. And of course, living in 2021 now, travel is something not many people are doing or able to or ought to be doing. But the plans and the exploration of the world and knowledge is very much important at this point. And then it will also change ideas on religion and philosophical views on life. So planets that go through here can give you shifts that will either support or make you question your religious and philosophical views. Then 10th house transits. This has to do with your public reputation, who you are perceived to be by others who have never met you. And these days can be seen online and places like that. It also shows your entrepreneurial activities, whether you are creating businesses for yourself, by yourself, little things on the side. And it also covers your career goals and achievements. So if you have plans to move up the corporate ladder, if you're on a corporate ladder or you can find a ladder, your career is likely to change in the nature of the planet that's making the transit. Then we have 11th house transits. This really has a lot to do with your activism and how you speak up against the underdog. It also shows your social circle, who you meet with, who you are willing to give your time to spend time with, who you find worthy of spending your time with. And of course, your friends and frenemies, and that's those who you think are your friends, but really they're not. So depending on the planet, you may make a whole bunch of new friends in the nature of the planet, or you might find that you're losing friends in the nature of the planet. And then 12th house transits are much quieter. They are mainly about self-care and serious health and wellness. There is a huge focus on a deep need to get healthy and become well, physically and mentally. And here we get retreats for personal development coming in, where you perhaps go away for the weekend, or again, under lockdown, you stay at home even longer, and you are retreating for personal development. So you're not just maybe sitting there staring into space, but perhaps you are doing some project that you wanted to work on, or you're writing your book, or I don't know, whatever it is, you're working on yourself quietly through self-care, mental, physical, and spiritual. And that will occur when planets pass through your 12th house. So the change will come in the nature of the planet. So there it is. We've gone through, as planets transit through your houses, what areas of life you can expect change or energies to be apparent within your life. And I would like to know from you, which of your astrological houses is carrying the most transiting planets at the moment. My name is Alison Price. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.